Heartbreaks and promises, I've had more than my share.
Teacher and classmates, I am Mariana Guardado and I'm from El Salvador.
My name is Modesto Guillen and I'm from Honduras. I'm gonna talk about the true meaning of Nemo's project or underwater farms and some disadvantages.
And I'm going to talk about some advantages and which cultures would grow in the system, for example, basil, strawberries, and lettuce. Instance, we are going to talk about how we would implement the system in our countries and in which specifically places.
Would you like it?
It's been so long since I've touched a wanting hand.
So in this segment, we're gonna talk about underwater farms, as known Nemo's project that grows in it basil, strawberries, and lettuce. This project was created in Italy from people that saw the needs to reduce the chemicals and avoid insects, parasites, and diseases that are common in plants, but first they think that we can control the needs for the plant underwater. We can control temperature, the insects, we can control maybe the humidity. We're gonna talk about this in a while. And those things was the basic things that they saw to create this system. So we're gonna talk about the advantages and disadvantages and how can we implement this system in our country and where we can implement it.
What I need is somebody who will always be there. Don't you promise me the world?
Well, I'm going to talk about some advantages of the system. For example, the reduction of the water consumption because we use the evaporation of the water of the sea, and with this we create an humidity environment, and this helps us to reduce the water consumption.
What I need is somebody who will always be there. Don't you promise me the world?
Other advantage is the preservation of some environments by their depletion. This project helps us to conserve the soil and create a good environment.
You want me? You got to show me love. Words are so easy to say, but you got to show me love.
Another advantage is the creation of a self-sustainable system in which no fresh water has to be added from the city to the cropping, because we use the water of the ocean, so we don't have to use other water or use a water system to maintain these crops.
It's been so long since I've touched a wanting hand. Can't put my love on the
Protection from insects, parasites, and diseases. It's difficult for insects and parasites to get in the system because our projects have a self-protection.
Words are so easy to say.
an auto-sustainable system because we don't need use any source to maintain our crops.
Talk to me. Come with your heart in your head. Because my love is guaranteed.
Well, I'm going to talk about the disadvantages of this system. At first, this required an expensive installation. So the place where we're gonna install the system is on the ocean, and this is not a ship to install. We need so many structures to make this environment plan.
Come with your heart in your head. Because my love is.
Another one is requirement of personnel with the capacity of swim in agriculture. No, we need that our personnel have to know about agriculture and how to swim because it's underwater, and so we don't need people who cannot swim and die in instant. So we need some people who knows about agriculture because they have to manage the plants and what they need in the moment.
What I need is somebody who will always be there. Don't you promise me the world.
The next one is danger of fungus because in the environment we have high humidity and high temperatures. So the fungus lives in high humidity and high temperature. So reason and reading about this project, we gotta conclude that the fungus can live in there, not only insects and parasites, because they cannot introduce in this environment that a fungus can live, probably can live.
Understand, so baby, if you want me, you got to show me love. Words are so easy.
Another one is increase of prices of the plants or the product that we want to sell, because it's like organic food, the organic products. It will create another value. So the products that we want to sell will increase in their cost and will increase the price of the product. Some other disadvantage is alert of sodium intoxication, because as we know the water of the sea contains salt and the salt contains sodium. As we study in our classes, the sodium, it can be toxic for the plant, and when the water of the sea evaporates, it contains sodium and can't get in the plant, so we're in danger of intoxication of our plant.
You got to show me love. Words are so easy to say, but you got to show
Another
me
one is a
love.
really close space to work, because this is a tiny structure in underwater, so it will be difficult for us to work and to make our movements, to maintain the plants and see what they need. Production, because we can't compare to produce strawberries in soils between produce strawberries under the sea, because the space will be tiny than in soils, and this is in relation with the increase of the price, because while we're producing a little quantity or of plants, the price will increase. But instant, when we produce a lot of quantity of plants in soils, the prices will be reduced. So this is another disadvantage.
Talk to me. Come with your heart in your head. Because my love is guaranteed. So baby,
I want to use the seawater because, as my classmate said, the disadvantages, the seawater contains a lot of soils, and this would intoxicate the cultives. So in El Salvador exists a lake, the Coatepec Lake. This lake is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and these characters are the perfect characters to implement this system.
Words are so easy to say, but you got to show me love.
Your opinion of where or how can we implement this system in our country? I'm from Honduras. I will implement this system in Roatan because it contains or have a white sand, and the water is clearer than the water of the south of my country. So I could implement the system there, and but the quantity of production will be small compared or between the production of the plants in soils. So I think that there's no need to develop the system, but we can spread this and know that we have innovation, and we can create new systems to develop and cover our needs on there to reduce contamination and create new environment to animals and increase our knowledge.
It's been so long since I've touched a wanting hand. Come put my love on the line.
I am from El Salvador, and I think that it's necessary to us implement this project because El Salvador is not a big place. So this project helps us to increase our agriculture production and help us to the water conservation.